Well, it is time to go inside out with our SNY NFL insider, Connor Hughes. Connor, let's start with the Giants. We just heard your back and forth with Brian Daboll. How worried should we be about Daniel Jones' future?
It's tough to know because Brian Daboll has never been the most open and honest coach when it comes to the press conference setting. So there is the chance that he simply got tired of asking Daniel Jones questions, so put up a wall and decided that he wasn't going to provide information on anything. But there is enough here that makes it slightly alarming, because it would have been very, very easy for Brian Daboll to come out and say, this is what the training staff told me. They said he was going to come back at this year. He is progressing. He's just not ready to go yet. He didn't say that, which opens up this can of worms that Daniel Jones potentially might not play the rest of the season. And that is alarming. I mean, we can look at the fact that he was questionable going into the Washington game. Now he's ruled out two days before the Jets game. We can talk about Brian Daboll now not having that same declarative statement that he will return this year. Either way, it's alarming. And I think if you want to go back even to what Daniel Jones dealt with the neck injury 2 years ago, that's part of this as well. So it's certainly noteworthy, it's certainly alarming. And it's something that wouldn't be noteworthy or alarming if Brian Daboll had just provided a little more clarity.
Yeah, and what we definitely know is Tyrod Taylor getting his third straight start. He hasn't been bad, 571 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions to this point. As for the Jets, their 2-star cornerbacks should both be back with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner in the lineup. Is there any excuse for them to lose this game, Connor?
No, I do think that there's some concerns that I have with Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator, against Zach Wilson, the Jets quarterback, because that is where the Giants have a very significant advantage, and it is an advantage that can mitigate or in some cases completely eliminate the other advantages that the Jets roster have. Because if Wink can completely shut down the Jets offense like he did Washington last week, like he did the Bills the week before, it's going to be hard for the Jets to win this game no matter how good their defense plays. But just from that cornerback perspective, it does bring the completency, if that's even a word, for the Jets defense to the table, because now they have a defense for how the Giants want to play. And when you have an elite level pass rush like the Jets do, teams want to get rid of the ball quick. What Jeff Ulbrich said to us earlier this week, he's now transitioned his defensive scheme, which is traditionally zone coverage, to now man on the outside, a little more press, a little more in your face, so those quick passes aren't there. So with the Jets having their 2 corners back, it allows them to do that.
Well, yeah, and players and coaches have mostly downplayed the rivalry this week, but we saw, thanks to Aaron Rodgers, who yelled Jet Life Stadium, things got a little heated when they played in the preseason. How much extra juice does this game actually have?
I really don't believe that there's too much with the players. I just think that rivalries today in the NFL, they've kind of gone by the wayside. You see all the players swapping jerseys. Guys switch teams so much because of the salary cap and free agency, played together in college, things like that, that I really don't think there's that much hate like there was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But when you go above the player level, when you go above the coaching level, when you get to upper management, when you get to ownership, I do believe that it would sting John Mara quite a bit to lose a game to the Jets, the team that the Giants have historically kind of looked down their nose at, viewed as their little brother. So from the players, no, I don't think there's too much there. But for ownership, no, absolutely. I think that this one is one that John Mara wants quite a bit, probably more than any other game on the schedule.